Welcome back to Horological. Today I'm not reviewing a watch, I'm reviewing Watch YouTube itself because something is changing fast. For years, independent watch content creators helped shape this space freely, honestly and passionately, but now the big brands are moving in. This is the coming Watch YouTube takeover.
What did the T-Rex say to the sausage-shaped dinosaur? You're the worst! Now I'm rather peckish.
Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch.
When Rolex first released the Cosmograph, or Cosmograph Daytona as we know it now,
Recently, I've heard more and more about just Rolex fatigue.
Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting you here. Hang on a second. Let me get into something a little bit more comfortable. That's a bit better. Now, you might recognise these hands and this voice, but this is something a little bit different. Join me on my personal channel as I show you the best and worst watches the world has to offer.
The great luxury houses, Rolex, Patek, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron, they ignored YouTube for years. Their marketing stayed locked inside boutiques and glossy magazines. That left us a gift: freedom. Freedom to say when a bracelet rattled or when a watch felt overpriced. Freedom to tell personal stories without that PR filter. YouTube doesn't reward brand polish, it rewards connection. That's why channels like TGV, Just One More Watch and early Watchfinder exploded. They spoke collector to collector, not corporation to consumer, and that authenticity built entire communities. We've already seen what happens when corporate money enters creator spaces. Donut Media, once scrappy and hilarious automotive YouTube content, it got bought by recurrent ventures. Production values rose, but the edge softened. In watches, the same pattern is emerging. Watchfinder now sits under the Richemont group. Hodinkee turned from an indie blog into a full-scale retailer. Chrono24 and Watchbox, they're building their own media arms. After Richemont Group took full ownership of Watchfinder in 2018, the tone of the channel inevitably evolved. What began as a bold, independent voice in the pre-owned watch world was now part of one of the most brand-conscious luxury groups on the planet. It's understandable that creative freedom may have become a little tighter under that umbrella.
You're our product, and we can't very well have our products turning against us, can we?
And for someone like Andrew Morgan, who had helped shape Watchfinder's media output since 2011, known for his distinctive style and storytelling delivery, that kind of environment can feel restrictive. He's since said he wanted to explore ideas on his own terms, which makes sense when your voice has always been your key signature. Then came a moment that perfectly captured how far this shift has gone, when Teddy Baldassarre, one of the most well-known creators in the watch niche, was chosen to host the Rolex Landdweller launch video, filmed for the Watches and Wonders 2025 release and held under tight embargo for over a week. Now let me be clear, this isn't a knock on Teddy. In fact, it's a measure of his success. He earned that invitation through years of hard work, consistency and a genuine passion for watches. But symbolically, for me, it marked a turning point. The biggest luxury brand on earth had turned to a YouTuber, and that changed the rules forever. The line between independent creator and representative began to blur. What once felt like independent commentary now sat shoulder to shoulder with corporate storytelling. Again, Teddy deserves credit for proving that a creator can reach that level, yet for the rest of us, it showed how close the corporate and creator worlds have now become. Here's the warning sign. When a creator can no longer say the bracelet's the weak point, like I recently did when I was talking about the below precisionist Marine Star watch, that independence is gone. Corporate-backed channels can't risk negativity. Every adjective is filtered through a lens of brand protection. Cheap bracelet becomes lightweight design, overpriced becomes positioned at a premium, marketing language replaces the collector's truth. Once shareholder money begins to drive the content, YouTube stops being a community and becomes an asset class. Videos are built to sustain valuation, not stimulate conversation. Engagement becomes a financial metric, not a human one. It's no longer about the watches, it's about protecting share price. But independence still matters, and it's powerful. Small creators can react in real time, speak freely, and build trust, one honest sentence at a time. We can say when something feels off. We can laugh, question, and experiment. That agility, that sincerity, it's what the corporate world can't manufacture. It can't be bought. We're now living at the end of the first golden age of independent watch content creation. When the corporate wave fully hits, only the voices grounded in truth will survive it, because once content exists to protect a share price instead of the truth, the hobby stops being about watches and starts being about the shareholders. Small media creators in all platforms today are like Robocop, battling against the corporate behemoth of OCP. The war's already started. Our only real long-term advantage is agility. While corporate-funded creators drown in bureaucracy and brand guidelines, independents can pivot, experiment and evolve. That adaptability is our weapon, and it's how we'll keep a voice in our niche. No matter how big the machine gets, if you are a fellow small creator, stay nimble, stay authentic, and tell your story. And remember, watch collecting isn't logical, but it is horological.